Most people use the words I am as if they are just describing who they are. I am broke. I am lonely. I am stuck. But what if I told you that every time you speak those two words, you are not simply making a statement, you are giving a command. Your words are not just labels, they are declarations. They are like orders sent into reality itself. They carry a creative force that moves through your voice, and whether you are aware of it or not, life responds. I am Abdullah. For many years in New York City, powerful men came to me. Doctors, lawyers, bankers, men who built businesses and empires, came to my simple room on West 72nd Street. Not because I had degrees or titles, not because I promised them easy success, but because something in them felt a shift when they were near me. They felt authority. And that authority did not come from trying to appear wise. It came from simply being awareness itself. My state of consciousness showed itself before I even spoke a word. My I am spoke louder than language. Most people believe I am statements are just affirmations, a way to feel better or boost confidence. But they are not just affirmations, they are invocations. When you say I am, you are not only speaking about yourself, you are calling upon the deepest creative force that exists. It is the power behind existence itself. And when you use I am, you are not asking for something, you are not hoping, and you are not requesting. You are declaring reality into shape. By the time you finish listening to this, you will start to understand why your inner talk has been failing you, why your words have been silently working against you, and most importantly, you will see how to use these two simple words to shift everything in your life, your circumstances, your relationships, even the flow of time in your experience. But understand this clearly. Once you truly see this, you cannot return to speaking carelessly again, because you will realize every I am is powerful. Here is something most people never realize. Every single day, from morning until night, you are constantly speaking. But the problem is, most people are not speaking as awareness or creation. They are speaking as limitation. There is a big difference between speaking to life and speaking as life. Listen to how people pray or think. God, please help me. I hope things will improve. Maybe if I try harder. When will I finally be enough? This is the language of waiting. This is the language of distance. It assumes power is somewhere outside of you. But if you look deeper, there is no separate power outside of you to beg from. There is only the awareness within you, the I am itself expressing. Most people carry an inner voice all day that is filled with limitation. I can't afford this. I am always broke. Nobody values me. Why does this always happen to me? I am unlucky. They do not even notice how often they say these things internally. But every one of those thoughts is shaping their experience. Their inner speech is quietly building their outer world. Your inner talk is not random noise. It is not harmless thinking. It is creative activity. It is constantly forming your reality, shaping how people respond to you, how situations unfold, and how your life appears to you. Most people fail not because they lack knowledge, not because they lack tools, but because their inner words constantly cancel their desires. They may say in the morning, I am successful, but for the rest of the day they repeat, I can't afford this. Money is tight. I'm struggling. Now ask yourself honestly, which one is stronger? A few repeated affirmations or the continuous stream of inner speech all day long? Your real dominant speech is not what you say once, but what you repeat unconsciously. Your inner dialogue shows where you actually live mentally. If you want to know what you have been truly declaring, look at your life. Your external world is a reflection of your inner repetition. Life is simply mirroring your most consistent inner state. The person who stays broke is not just unlucky. Their inner talk constantly says, I don't have enough. This is too expensive. I will never get ahead. The person who feels lonely keeps repeating inside, "Nobody cares about me. I am always alone. People leave me." The person who feels stuck keeps saying, "I cannot change. This is just how my life is. Nothing ever works for me." These are not just thoughts. They are instructions being given to reality. Every time you say, "I am," followed by something you do not want, you are reinforcing that condition. You are feeding it energy. You are using the most powerful creative force in existence to maintain your own struggle without realizing it. But the opposite is also true. When you change your inner words, when you begin to consistently speak only what you desire, your experience begins to shift. This is not simple positivity. This is not fake optimism. This is how reality itself is structured. There are two ways of speaking. One is the way of the beggar. The other is the way of the king. The beggar says, "I want to be rich. I need love. I wish I were healthy. I hope things get better." This language always places the desire in the future, always separate from you. And every time you say, "I want," you are also saying, "I do not have." Every time you say, "I need," you are admitting lack. These words may feel harmless, but they shape your experience. Because life does not give you what you want. It reflects what you consistently are. If you are someone who wants wealth, you remain in wanting. If you are someone who needs love, you remain in needing. If you are someone who wishes for health, you remain in wishing. But the king speaks differently. The king says, "I am wealthy. I am loved. I am healthy. I am complete." These are not hopes. These are declarations of identity. In Scripture it is said, "Let the weak say, I am strong." Notice it does not say ask to become strong. It does not say hope for strength. It says speak as though it already is. This is the shift in identity. When Moses asked what name to give, the answer was, "I am." Not "I will be," not "I might become," but "I am." This is present reality, not future possibility. Many people pray as if power is outside them. They say, "Please give me strength." But the deeper principle is that strength is declared from within. I am strong. I am capable. I am guided. When you speak this way, you are not asking life. You are aligning with it. Let me give you an example. A man once desired a building in New York City, far beyond his financial reach. No money, no support, no logical path. But he began to live mentally, as though it was already his. Every time he passed the building, he imagined his name on it, and internally he would say, "This is my building. I am the owner." He did not beg for it. He did not say, "Maybe someday." He simply lived in ownership mentally. Over time, circumstances shifted in unexpected ways. Opportunities appeared. Financing came from others. Eventually, he acquired the building for a small amount compared to its value and later sold it for a massive profit. This is what happens when identity changes before circumstance. Now you may wonder, what if I try this and doubt appears? What if my reality does not match my words? That is exactly why many people struggle. They try for a moment but return to old speech. If you feel this happening, you may need to reset your inner state. That is why you can comment the word reset below right now. When you do, you can receive the Manifest Reset Guide. It helps bring you back to your desired state when you fall into old patterns. Because yes, you will sometimes slip back into old language like "I can't," or "I don't have," or "I am still waiting." But that does not mean failure. It only means you need to return again. So comment reset now, and let this be the point where your inner speech begins to change. Something that turns this idea into real practice begins with understanding that within you exists a hidden inner space, a quiet sanctuary, an inner chamber where you connect with the Father, which is really your own awareness, your own sense of I am. From this hidden inner place, you express your I am into your outer world. This is not complex. This is not mysterious or strange. This is direct instruction. You turn inward. You close your eyes. You shut out the outside noise. the evidence of your senses, and the story your current situation is telling you. And in that silent space, you breathe deeply, filling yourself with life itself. Then you speak from the awareness of the one who already has what is desired. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am joyful. I am happy. But here is the point most people fail to understand. You are not trying to persuade yourself. You are not repeating words without meaning. You are connecting with the inner source, the Father within, and acknowledging what already exists in consciousness. Because in that inner space, you come to realize that whatever I am is, that is what you are. You and I am are not separate. There is no gap between you and creative power. You are that power itself. And when this understanding rises fully within you, when you deeply feel this unity, a strong, joyful feeling begins to fill you. You realize you are a child of the highest presence. You realize you were created to have authority over your life. You realize everything is already placed under your awareness. This is not pride. This is awareness of your real nature. You are powerful. Your mind is powerful. Your consciousness is powerful. Then what are all these negative patterns in your life? These limiting beliefs, these thoughts of lack, these inner talks of struggle and limitation, they are not real powers. They only exist because you gave them attention and repeated them with your I am. But the moment you enter that inner chamber and begin to speak your true I am, those old patterns begin to weaken. Those emotional chains begin to break. Those limits start to dissolve because you are not the person trapped in circumstances. You are the awareness shaping circumstances. Your body is not controlled by illness. Your body is a living temple, strong and renewed when you say, I am healthy. Your money is not controlled by outside conditions. Your supply opens when you say, I am wealthy. Your relationships are not controlled only by others. Love flows toward you when you say, I am loved. This is the process of I am. This is how you step into the awareness of the one who already has everything. And from that awareness, your inner dialogue begins to shift. Your spoken words change. Your actions change. Your entire outer life begins to shift. Because awareness always shapes reality without exception. Now, the central truth of this teaching is something that changes everything if you truly understand it. At every single moment of your life, you are speaking internally. You are constantly having inner conversations. You cannot stop them even if you try. When you see someone, you silently form opinions. When something happens, you silently react. When you think about your goals, you silently speak about them inside yourself. These inner conversations are not meaningless thoughts. They are creative forces. They are shaping your world continuously. Your outer life is simply the reflection of your inner dialogue made visible. If you want to know what you have been saying inside, look at your current life. It is a mirror of your inner speech. A person who struggles with money does not become wealthy because all day long their inner voice says things like, I can't afford it. Money is hard. I never have enough. Why does this always happen to me? Every inner statement is a declaration. Every inner sentence is a creative act. And those silent words carry even more power than spoken words. It is often said, and even research supports the idea, that when you speak something aloud, it affects your mind much more strongly than when you just think it. But even more important is this. Negative statements affect the mind far more strongly than positive ones. This is why fear shows up faster than hope. This is why doubt feels stronger than faith. Every time you say, I am broke, you are strengthening that condition. Every time you say, I am unloved, you are reinforcing separation. Every time you say, I am stuck, you are building limitation. But the opposite is also true. When you say, I am wealthy, you begin to build abundance. When you say, I am loved, you open yourself to connection. When you say, I am free, you begin breaking inner barriers. This is why it is said that life and death are in the power of speech. Your inner and outer words are either building your life or breaking it down. There is no neutral space. Most people are not aware of their inner speech. It runs automatically, repeating old patterns learned from the past, repeating fears absorbed over time, repeating limitation without awareness. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They are using the most powerful creative force, the I am awareness, to repeatedly create lack and fear. But now you have awareness of the key. From this moment, you must begin to notice your inner speech. When you catch yourself saying I am, followed by something unwanted, stop it immediately. Do not complete that statement. Instead, shift into the inner chamber and replace it. If you say I am broke, correct it instantly with I am wealthy. If you say I am alone, change it immediately to I am loved. If you say I am powerless, shift it to I am strong. This is not pretending. This is not denial. This is choosing the direction of your creation. What you see in the outer world is simply the delayed reflection of past inner speech. It only continues if you keep repeating it. But when your inner conversation changes, your outer world begins to change as well. The person who desired success did not change the outer world first. They first changed their inner dialogue, repeating the assumption of success until it became real in experience. The same is true for every example of change. No one truly shifts their life by changing the outside first. They change the inside, and the outside follows. Your inner speech is either your prison or your freedom. There is no middle state. And the important truth is that you can change it right now. You do not need time. You do not need permission. You do not need external conditions to shift. You simply turn inward, return to your inner awareness, and begin speaking as the one who already has what is desired. And as you continue in this new inner conversation, as it becomes natural and steady, your outer life must adjust to match it. This is the law of awareness. This is how creation functions. This is the only real power operating in experience. The simplest way to understand this entire teaching is this: among all words you use, one word carries the greatest creative force. That word is am, not was, not will be, not might be, only am, present, active, now. Most people live trapped in past or future language. They say, I will be successful one day, or I was happy before, or I might become something later. These statements do not create anything. They only express delay and separation. But when you say, I am, you bring everything into the present moment. You claim your desire as already real in consciousness, which is the only place reality begins. Everything you desire already exists in awareness. Health exists, wealth exists, love exists, success exists. The only question is what you are declaring yourself to be right now. Because whatever follows I am becomes your experience. If you say, I am struggling, you create struggle. If you say, I am trying, you create endless effort. If you say, I am becoming, you create delay without end. But if you say, I am wealthy, you create wealth. If you say, I am loved, you create love. If you say, I am successful, you create success. This truth has been hidden in plain sight across spiritual teachings for ages. It is the creative principle behind existence itself. It is the essence of the idea that in the beginning there was the Word, and that Word was I am. Once you truly understand this, your relationship with language completely changes. You no longer speak carelessly. You stop repeating negativity. You stop affirming lack.